Marcius, and this isn't a positive, renaming the subject, a noble Roman, had captured by assault Coriolanus, and this is another positive, a town of the Volsci. On account of this service, he was named Coriolanus. And so the passive form of appello will take a nominative, predicate nominative on the other side, so that's why Coriolanus is in a nominative. And now, throughout the rest of the story, his name will be Coriolanus. That's his nickname, and so he'll be called that. So that's Marcius, this noble Roman. So after the war, the plebs, and this is the plebeians, the common people, having been moved thoroughly, so this is a PPP agreeing with plebs, having been moved thoroughly by sharp anger, ablative absolute right here, on account of various causes. It doesn't get into it, but on account of various causes, they were moved by sharp anger. Shouted that, and this is an indirect statement. Notice how I inserted that Coriolanus was an enemy. And this is the subject of an indirect statement, and so it's in the accusative. And notice how I translate this as was. And the reason, even though it's a present infinitive, that I translate as was, is because the main verb here is perfect. He, and this is a PAP, referring back to he fearing, or he sensing, and then this is actually another indirect statement. He was sensing that danger threatens, so danger is threatening, fled to the Volsci, which, and this is an accusative, which he himself, another word is superavit, he himself had conquered. The Volsci are said, and this is not an indirect statement, so I'll translate it literally, to have received him kindly. For they sensed, and now this is an indirect statement, that he, and again I'm going to translate this as was, even though it's present because this verb is perfect, that he was a strong and also just leader. And he no longer loved, and again I'm translating this perfectly because the main verb is imperfect, even though this is a present infinitive, he no longer loved Rome. And they even hoped, again another indirect statement, that he, okay, it's the subject, but it's in the accusative, that he, and this is a future infinitive, would fight against the Romans. And notice I translate this future as would because the main verb is perfect. Soon, Coriolanus, in the positive, renaming Coriolanus, leader, now this is a PPP modifying leader, a leader chosen by the Volsci, ablative agent, hastened, struggled to the city Rome. This is a PAP modifying Coriolanus. He conquering all on his journey. The Romans, and now this is an ablative absolute, with their camp having been placed near the city, and this is the camps of the Volsci, having their camp placed near the city, were scared by the threatening war. That's an ablative agent. Ambassadors were sent to Coriolanus, concerning about peace. But when they arrived, they were sent back by him, ablative agent. Watch out, this is future. We will send his mother to him, the Romans thought, if the care of the city will not touch his heart, that man, referring to Coriolanus, will certainly be touched by the love, ablative agent, of his mother, and his anger will be broken. Then we will find the end of our sufferings. And labor here can mean work, and another translation is suffering. So we will find the ends of our sufferings. And so the mother and the wife of Coriolanus, with ablative of accompaniment, with two small sons, arrived near the camp of the enemy. Coriolanus, and now there's a sentence here that has two prepositions. And so the first one's here. So Coriolanus was moved thoroughly by the sharp words of the mother, ablative agent, and he was touched. This goes back to Coriolanus. Coriolanus was touched by the tears of all. So, and then this changes here. This Coriolanus, which is the subject, is said. This is my main verb. So Coriolanus was moved by the sharp words of the mother and the tears of all, is said to have shouted, and this is not an indirect statement, it's just a simple perfect active infinitive. What are you doing, mother? And this is actually vocative right here because he's talking to his mother. What are you doing, mother? You alone saved Rome, but you conquered me. Then he ordered the Volsci to depart. Rome was saved by tears, ablative agent, not by arms, weapons. The deeds of Coriolanus will always stick in the memory of all.